David. So it's an interesting story. David came to Shmuel, he fled to Shmuel, and then Shaul tried to get him there.
Yeah.
And all the people he sent there converted to becoming prophets. Right?
Yeah.
It's very similar to the story. You know the story about
Forever or temporarily?
I presume temporary.
Yeah.
His name, what's his name? Hadrian. Hadrian,
Greek?
Russia. No, Hadrian was Roman.
Roman.
He built Hadrian's Wall. You heard of Hadrian's Wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have, because you hang around England for a while. Yeah. Hadrian's Wall. Have you heard of Hadrian's Wall? Yeah. Hadrian's Wall is the wall that the Romans built between England and Scotland. It was the end of the Roman Empire. They couldn't fight the Scottish.
What's your definition of the end of the Roman Empire? Because that's.
I don't mean in time. I meant geographically.
Oh.
It was the most western point, northern western point that they conquered, and then they couldn't fight the Romans. The Scottish were like just too wild,
too barbaric.
Yeah. I mean, they just gave them Scotch whiskey and put the Romans to sleep. So instead, what they did was they built a wall to, and also there was no point in conquering, I think, because it was just
nothing there.
It was just beautiful scenery for sheep to graze on, but they didn't. It wasn't
They
there.
had nothing.
Now they have the North Sea oil, but there's not much.
There wasn't any need for oil. And they didn't know it.
And they didn't know it was there, right?
Yeah.
So they just built a wall. That wall was built by Hadrian. Anyway, Hadrian was a very cruel, wicked emperor who put down the Jewish revolt run by Kochba, by Kochba. And Hadrian was the emperor who killed Rabbi Akiva. So anyway, his nephew was called Onkelos. Onkelos, you heard Onkelos? The one who wrote the Aramaic translation of the Chumash?
Wait, whose nephew was Onkelos?
Hadrian.
Hadrian's nephew was Onkelos.
Yeah.
What?
Was Targum Onkelos. The one that in the
Chumash.
I don't know.
Who was his nephew? You knew he was a ger?
Oh, because he converted, right.
I heard that he was a guy. I think it was you that said the story of Onkelos was a necromancer. And he brought this guy back.
No, he wasn't a necromancer, but he went to a necromancer to bring back the spirit of his uncle.
Oh, I thought it was some guy named Yeshu or something.
No, he brought 3 people back.
JC.
He brought back 3 people. Hadrian.
Yeah?
No, not Hadrian. He brought back Bilam. He brought back Titus, who destroyed the temples. And he brought back
Yeshu.
And Yoshki.
Wow.
No, it wasn't Yoshki. I remember you said it wasn't Yoshki. It was 2 different guys. Yeshu and Yeshu.
That's another question. He brought back Yeshu. Who Yeshu is another question.
Yeah.
Right? He brought back Yeshu, who was
Why them?
Why? He wanted to know whether it was worthwhile to become Jewish. So he wanted their opinion.
Oh,
so he asked for the opinion of dead people.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, because the dead people have come up to heaven and seen what the truth is.
So, but then you're going to need one opinion then.
Yeah, but
true.
You don't probably have your basket?
Yeah. Anyway, the story is that he converted to Judaism, and his uncle found out.
How old was he when he converted?
So his uncle sent a group of soldiers to bring him back, and they brought him. And in the middle, he got into a conversation about Judaism, and they all converted. He managed to persuade them, and then he sent them a second group, and he told them that you mustn't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You mustn't get into. He told them not to get into conversation. And he didn't, but then just as he was leaving, he kissed the mezuzah. I said, what was that? What was all that about? So he explained to them that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is like our king and he looks after us. Instead of us looking after the king looks after us. So they were very impressed with that idea. So three times he said, eventually he says, okay, just come along and I won't do anything to you. I promise not to do anything to you. And he asked him why he converts. He said, you told me that I should go and deal in things which you buy cheap and sell expensive. Right? So he says that's what Judaism is not viewed as being worth very much and it's very cheap, but then once you've got it you can sell it, it's worth a lot. So it's a similar story to this. Each one of them he sent them to arrest him and he wasn't successful. Yeah. Okay. But Shaul, David doesn't say, he doesn't give Shaul a big hug and say let's be friends. No, he's still scared of it. So what did he do? But Yivrach David. So David ran away. Now Shaul was there. He didn't want to be around Shaul or go back with Shaul, and so he fled from Nayot, which was the name of the place in Ramah, the neighborhood called Nayos in Ramah. Vayavai, and he came. Vayomer, and he said, Lifnei Yehonasan, in front of Yehonasan, who was Shaul's son and David's friend. Me asisi, what have I done? Me avoini, what is my sin? Ume chatasi. Those are different types of sins, right? Avon is a sin that you do on purpose. Chatasi is a sin that you do by mistake. So I suppose David could have been concerned that maybe I've done something against the king. Not necessarily an aveira in the normal sense, but something that to upset the king. Or maybe I've done something the king wants me to kill me because I've done an aveira. Nothing against the king because I'm a Chal Shabbos, or he saw me eat some pork. I know what he saw me do, right? So therefore, he says, what have I done against the king? What are my purposeful sins? Or maybe I've done something mistake, but what have I done wrong that the king wants me? Why I don't understand. David only just now realized the king wants to kill him because he had to move out of the way of that spear. Lifnei avicha, in front of your father, ki mevakesh es nafshi, that he seeks my soul. What have I done to your father? What does your father consider that I've done wrong? That he seeks me. Now, before it was the other way around. Jonathan was the one who came beforehand that he says his father wants to kill him. And David says, I have no idea why you should want to do that. And then he said, well, I'll go and investigate it. And he investigated it, and Shaul promised, no, I swear I won't touch David. Okay, so Shaul's changed his mind. That's what he thought. Okay, but now David says, no, you're right, he does want to kill me. And now it's Jonathan who says the other way around. Chalila means, God
Praise.
forbid. What did you say?
Praise.
No, that's with a hey. That would be halila, like halel. This is halal. Halal means empty space, which means profane, without any holiness. Such a thing would be completely unholy to suggest that my father would want to hurt you. Lo tamus, you won't die. Hine, behold, lo ya'aseh avi davar, my father will not do anything. My father doesn't do anything. Gadol, whether a big matter, or davar katan, or a small thing, v'lo yigle asazni, without yigle, galui v'yadua lifnei chisei chavodecha im yipaseach echad mehem. You know what that is? That's the bracha we say after the bathroom. Galui means it is revealed. It is revealed in front of your throne of glory, right? That if one of my orifices would close, Galui means revealed. So lo yigle, to reveal es ozni, ozen is iya. Anything that Shaul does, whether big or small, he always tells me first. Again, Shaul has no idea, again, that Jonathan and David have this pact. Otherwise, he would never have told Jonathan in the first place he wasn't going to kill him.
Yeah.
Right? Now, it's true that Shaul at one point said he wants to kill David, but then he swore to Jonathan afterwards he wouldn't hurt him.
Yeah.
Right? So, unless he's changed his mind,
and
if he changed his mind, he would have told me. There's no reason why he wouldn't have told me. So it can't be that what you think that don't want to...
Why didn't he tell him?
What?
Why didn't he tell him?
No. What's bothering you is we know that Shaul has sent messengers for several things. A lot of things have happened, right? He sent people to surround his house, right? He sent people to take him in the morning, right? He sent people to go to chase after him in Noyos, right? But none of those are indications that he wants to kill him.
But he told them, bring him to me in his bed. So
So it's you and I know that story, right? But he didn't tell Jonathan, right?
Why not?
I don't. Oh, why at that point? Because Jonathan wasn't involved at that point. He sent some people to kill him, but Jonathan wasn't there, right? And in Michal, who knows the truth, right, may not have told Jonathan, right? Don't go around telling tales about people. Okay, he wasn't. And all these actions that Shaul has done could be interpreted in other ways. Yeah, he doesn't want you far away. He wants to keep an eye on you, which is why he wanted you arrested. But to kill you, that he wouldn't do. He told me he wouldn't kill you. Right? That's what he swore, right? What did he say? Here it was on page 56. Hashem im yamus. So he definitely won't kill you. So what's your evidence he wants to kill? Now, if I was David, I would say, you know what? I saw him spear right at my heart. I just moved out of the way. Okay? So now, it doesn't say that David argued this. It could be he doesn't want to tell on his father-in-law, Look, you're not going to believe him when I tell you what he tried to do, right? So I'll try and prove it some other way. Yeah? Or maybe he did say this, I don't believe you. I don't know, that bit's not mentioned why David didn't make that claim, or maybe he did and it's not mentioned. But Jonathan doesn't know. Jonathan, yes, my father wants to keep an eye on you. That's why he sent him to have you arrested. He doesn't want you running away, right? Which is, I don't know why you wanted to run away, but he and then when you did run away, he sent people to arrest you, but he wouldn't He certainly wouldn't kill you. He would have told me if he wanted to do that. That's what Yonasan claims. Lo yasa adoi davar gadol v'lo yiga. Madua means and why? Yastir avi mimeni. Why would my father hide from me? Now, it could be the reason why he hid it from him is he's very suspicious of Yonasan. We don't know.
Yeah.
We do know that he told Yonasan. And then Yonasan comes the next day and pleads on David's, and he swears to him. Now, that could have been sincere, or it could have all been a cover-up. I'm not going to tell you that I suspect you, because then you'd get, right? But I do suspect you, and that's why I never told you. That's why Yonasan doesn't know.
Yeah.
Right? That's all possible. Yeah. It's hard to believe that Shaul would swear in God's name. But it's possible. What?
It's a proper oath.
Yeah, no, but look, he wants to kill David. Yeah? So
far he hasn't broken.
No.
Oath was technically that he won't die.
But he's trying to kill him, isn't he?
Yeah, but he didn't die.
But that's not violating an oath. He tried to kill someone and he just managed to get away.
Well,
to swear that someone's not going to die means I swear that I'm not going to kill him. Everybody dies eventually, right? Okay. So obviously, no, but he wasn't successful, but he tried to violate it. No, but it's different. I mean, trying to kill David is because he believes from some strange point that David deserves to die. But to swear falsely, that isn't it? Hello. Oh, I was thinking about you this morning. How you doing?
Good.
Great.
To see you.
There's no justification. Again, we're coming from a viewpoint that Shaul is a tzaddik. Right? There's some people, I know that some people have difficulty with this, right? Because he chases our hero, right? David is everybody's hero, right? The guy who makes it from rags to riches, and and he's the king, and we all sing his Tehillim. So anyone who wants to fight David is a villain in our eyes. But Chazal don't see Shaul like that. Chazal see Shaul as a big tzaddik. So yeah, he made mistakes clearly, but tzaddikim make mistakes. And he saw everything through these pink-colored glasses, which is why he thinks David wants to take the throne from him. All that we can explain, but why he should swear falsely, knowingly, that's hard to justify. To kill innocent people is because they think they're not innocent. But how do you justify swearing you're not going to kill when you still intend to? Just because you want to cover up for your innocence? I know, with a stretch, you can say, look, it's the only way to do it. If I tell Yonasan the truth, he's going to tell David, then David's going to get away with it, and then it's going to be the end of the kingdom, and there's going to be anarchy here, and hundreds of thousands of people are going to die. So the Shaul feels justified in doing whatever's necessary in order to save the throne, right? And that means to hide it from his son that he knows that he's on his side.
Yeah, so
could be.
You could also say that he's not fully controlled because he has the evil spirit, potentially.
Yeah, it could be. That gives. I'm saying that gives people a warped view of what people have in for you. Doesn't justify to swear falsely.
Well,
no,
he didn't swear falsely.
He did. He says, I'm not going to kill him.
Yes, but I'm saying
he wants to kill him.
Yeah, but after that, it says that the evil spirit came back to him. At the time that he swore, he didn't have it.
No. So my question is, no. I'm trying to say this. Now I'm suggesting the reason why he swore was all part of his cunning, because he knew that. He knew that Yonasan, he suspected Yonasan's on David's side, because that's why Yonasan's pleading on David's behalf, right? And that's why he swears to Yonasan, I'm not going to hurt David, because that way that will convince Yonasan he's not going to do it, and then David will be off his guard and be able to get it.
It's the same thing. You heard what happened with Tucker Carlson?
No.
They found out that he was talking to the Iranians. I mean, this is all speculation, but they found out that he was talking to the Iranians 2 days before the attack. Tucker was in the White House. Trump told him nothing's gonna happen. It's a bluff, and then he reported that back to the Iranians, and then he killed them.
Okay, so that's the point. So that would explain why Shaul would do that sort of thing, and that's why Yonasan doesn't know, and that's why.
Yeah, but swearing is
No, because you think Trump wouldn't have sworn to Carlson? I swear
you think Trump's a tzaddik?
You do that, and that's the way you convince people. Okay. So that's what it seems, because Yonasan knows nothing about this, and when David suggests that now your father wants to kill me, see how the sides have changed. When Yonasan suggested, David didn't understand, and now that David's experienced having a spear thrown at him, right, he can't convince Yonasan of the truth of what his father wants to do to him. Umadua yastir, page 59. Madua, top second above top line. Madua yastir avim. Why would my father hide? Seter is to hide, mimeni, from me, es hadavar hazeh, this thing, ein zois, this is not. Zois is this, ein not. Means what you're suggesting is not true. That's what it means. Yonasan argues there's no way that my father would want to kill you if he wouldn't tell me. Mm-hmm. Okay. Vayishava oid David. And David swore. So David says, your father swore to you, he's not going to kill me, and I'll swear. You see, whose oath you believe more, mine or his. Vayishava oid David. And David, that's why he says, what does oid mean? Oid means...
Ein od.
Od means...
Or.
Odd.
More.
More means in addition to who? David has never sworn beforehand, as far as I know.
What about ein od milvado?
No, that is ein. There is no
No,
odd, more, other, milvado, other than God. There's nobody in addition to God. So odd means more. Okay? So it could be in addition, meaning in addition to Shaul swearing. Shaul swore, and now David swore to counteract Jonathan's trust. Yishava David, oh David, Yada Avicha, your father for sure knows Ki matzasi chen be'einecha, that I have found favor in your eyes. Meaning your father suspects that we are friends. Why he suspects that? Only because you stuck up for me. Because originally he told you he wanted to kill me, right? He said that to Jonathan. That's why Jonathan came to warn David. But after that,
the garb.
what?
Could also be because of the uniform that he gave him.
No, but then why did what?
Maybe he didn't notice until then.
That's speculation. I'm suggesting
This
something
is
which
also
is in the
speculation.
text, right? No, but I'm saying something it is actually in the
Makes
text,
more sense, yeah.
right? Which is that at that point, Jonathan says, David's done nothing for you. He's going to be good to you. She says, oh, you're right. I never thought of that. I swear I won't do anything. It's a bit. It actually fits in better the way we're reading it. Because I didn't really believe it. But in order to convince Jonathan that he did, he had to swear to him. Okay, so now Jonathan believes him. Now David said, I swear to you that your father knows that you're in there. And therefore he said, Shaul said, Al yeda zois Jonathan, let Jonathan not know this. Al means not. Yeda, he will know. Zois. I mean, I'm not going to tell Jonathan this change of heart and my plan still to continue with my plan to kill David. Why not? Pen ye'at save, lest he become upset. I would have said, lest he tell David, right? That may be part of what it means to be upset. Literally upset just means he's going to walk around with a long face, right? And be depressed for a few days and not want to eat supper. That's really what bothers Shaul. If I was in Shaul's shoes and didn't want to tell a friend of David's, because otherwise he's going to tell David, right? Which is exactly what he would have done. Clearly, Shaul was right. Yep. That Jonathan was David's friend, and he will tell him everything. He'll spill the beans to David to save David's life. And so I think David's got a good assessment of the situation. But just to say he become upset is a bit weak. Okay. Ulam. Yehonathan's going to be upset. He's going to upset. Ulam. However, Chai Hashem, as God lives. This is a way of swearing, right? As God lives. V'chei nafshecha, as you live. Ki kefesa. Pesa
is a sin.
Mm-hmm.
Unintentional?
That's a good try, but that's pesha with a shin. Pesha, right? Chet, avon, pesha. Chet is unintentional. Avon is intentional. Pesha is even worse. Right? But this is Pesach. Now it's usually spelled with a samach, which is why I didn't recognize it. With a samach, but a samach and simah are the most interchangeable letters you can have in Hebrew because they're exactly the same sound. Samach and a sin. Pisiot. What are pisiot? It's part of your business. Pisiot are footsteps. Footsteps. It says you're not allowed to run on Shabbos, right? It says in Shulchan Aruch, right? So what it says, Al Ya'aseh Pisiot Gasa. You're not allowed to make big steps, right? But running isn't actually big steps, just quick steps, right? But you're not supposed to take big strides on Shabbos. Strides is when you're supposed to relax and you're not in a hurry to do anything. Okay? So Pisiyah is a step. So he's saying, Kitfesa, there was one footstep, Beini, between me, Ubein Hamaves, and between death. If I hadn't taken that move, just as Shaul threw the spear at me, I'd be dead. I was one footstep away from death. So it could be here he's telling him the story, or he's hinting to the story without actually telling exactly what happened. So David says, I swear to you that your father wants it, and you've got the wrong understanding of this thing. But I'm going to prove it to you, if you don't believe me. Okay? Jonathan is the one who suggests how to prove it. Jonathan el David. Jonathan says to David, Ma tomar nafshecha, what your soul will say, ve'e'es elach, I will do for you. mean whatever you want me to do, I'll do. In the context, it looks means whatever you want me to do to prove that this is true, I will do. Because at the moment, you haven't convinced me. Okay? But whatever you want to tell me what to do, and then I'll be able to find out 100% sure that you're right. You think you're convinced, that's when you understand the whole story. I'm not so convinced that that's really the truth, because I think he would have told me, and I think you have to read the whole story differently. He just wants to keep an eye on you and doesn't want you to run away. But he's not really mad at you and he wants to kill you. And his attempts were mistakes. So tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. David said to Yonasan, Hine, behold, Chodesh Machal. This is beautiful that we're reading this today, because it's telling it's Rosh Chodesh tomorrow, which is exactly what it is, Rosh Chodesh tomorrow. Right? So Yonasan was speaking to David on Erev Rosh Chodesh. V'anochi Yoshev. And I will, Yashov Eshev. I always sit. Yashov Eshev. Eshev I will sit. Yashov Eshev means
How do they know the Rosh Chodesh was tomorrow? You don't actually know.
Well, you say it tomorrow or the day after.
What?
It can be tomorrow or the day after. Whenever you don't know, it's only a choice of one of 2 days.
Right,
In a month, we've got to have at least 29 days.
Right.
Sometimes it has 30, sometimes it has only 29. You'll see. That's exactly what it says. So tomorrow might be Rosh Chodesh, right?
Okay.
So I will sit im HaMelech with the king le'echol to eat. They didn't eat together with the king every day, but they had a Rosh Chodesh party. This is the first reference to a Rosh Chodesh party in the Tanach. Okay, with Shaul. Shaul used to have every Rosh Chodesh a special royal feast where all his family came. So who would be there? Yonasan would be there, and David would be there, because David was Shaul's son-in-law. And Micha would be there, and Meirav would be there, and the whole family would be there, right? And Avner, who was the chief of staff, and also David, Shaul's cousin, right? All the Mishpacha would all be there at this Rosh Chodesh Mishpacha, the family, right? At the Rosh Chodesh feast. But Anochi Yoshev Eich, I will there, le'echon, to eat. So David said, that's what I should be. I would be expected to be there. Veshilachtani, I want you to send me. Shalach, send. Shilachta, you send. Veshilachta oti, you will send me. Veshilachtani, also put in one word. And you will send me. Means I want you to instruct me, send me. Venistarti, and I will hide. Basadeh, in the field. I want you to give me, I want Yonasan to give me permission not to be at this feast. You're like the crown prince, so you have the right to give me permission not to be there. That's what you
He doesn't need permission.
Not really, but he has to play away the whole story, right? Ata Erev Hashlish is until the third evening. Third evening means tonight is night 1, tomorrow night is night 2. But if there's 2 days Rosh Chodesh, so there'll be 2 days partying, right? So there's till then. I want your permission to be away for the next 2.5 days. So it's the next 3 evenings. This evening, tomorrow evening, and the next evening. Im pakod yifkedeni avicha. Now, pakod, we have this word many times. It has different meanings, but they're all basically the same thing. Pakod means to count, like a pakid in the bank. Pakid is a guy who's the teller, that counts your money. Okay? When sorrow was remembered by God, it said, God remembered pakad, Hashem pakad sorrow. So it really means to take notice of something. So you take notice of your money, you count the money, you remember something. So im pakod last week's parasha was called Pekude. Same words, means to count. When Moshe Rabbeinu counted the money. So im pakod yifkideni avicha. If your father will notice my missing, of course he's going to notice. But the question is, he's going to make a fuss about it. What's he going to say? Okay, David claims that we can gauge Shaul's rage at David by his reaction when David doesn't appear at the party. This is David's plan. Now we'll be able to tell. If your father, or when your father's suddenly going to notice it, you can't miss David not being there, right? A, because he wants to kill him, right? And B, he's the son-in-law of the king. How can he not notice it there? So I think im means when. When, sometimes it means when. When your father, as he surely will notice that I'm not there, that's what it says, the double expression, he surely will notice. The amount, so this is what you should answer. Nish'al mimeni. Nish'al from the word she'ela. She'ela means to make a request. So you should say that David asked me. Could be, it says a double expression because he means he kept on asking me because he wanted permission. Mimeni, from me, meaning from Yonasan. David kept on asking me, larutz, to run, Beis Lechem to Beis Lechem. Why do you have to run to Beis Lechem? Because he just remembered that they've got a party in Beis Lechem for the family. Right? So, look, he had to say to run because if he'd known about it, he would have asked his father-in-law
He
in
already
advance.
ran away and escaped after he tried to kill him. Like he's aware that David's
Oh, I'm going
trying
to a family
leave.
party.
Also, this kind of exposes
No. But what? Why?
that he's been in contact with David.
Well, he's like, no. Shaul doesn't know that they're best friends, but he's his brother-in-law. They have a connection, don't they? They say hello in shul and they say good morning. So David said, look, my brother, I just got a message from my brother. I got to run home, right? The day before Rosh Chodesh, we've got every year the family gets together on Rosh Chodesh, Tammuz, whatever it is. We make a party. I forgot about it. Please give me permission to go home, right?
Okay.
He had to say to run. Running sounds like running away. No, he had to say to run because otherwise, if he's just taking a regular trip, why he should have asked the king.
Yeah.
King is the right person to ask, but he was in a hurry. Why was he in a hurry? Right? Larutz Beis Lechem, which is where they come from. Iro, his city. Ki zevach hayamim sham, because the zevach is the sacrifice. Like a mizbeach, which is the thing an altar. Hayamim. Hayamim means the yearly. Right, the word yom often means day, a day. Yamim means days, but the collection of all 365 days of the year is also called yamim. You find in a few places where yamim means a year. Okay? Ki zevach hayamim, the yearly sacrifice of the family. In those days you were allowed to bring sacrifices outside the Mishkan, remember mentioned many times. Sham is there, l'chal mishpacha, for the whole family. And that's why David asked me permission. Okay, that's what you should say. When your father says, where's David? You say, David asked me to run home to be with the family for Rosh Chodesh. Okay. Now we'll see how Shaul reacts.
He didn't take his wife with him?
No,
She's
women are not invited.
She's
She
not
is.
going to Beis Lechem.
Oh, she's not really going. No. He's saying, why is he wife? Oh, his wife's royal family. Got Mr. Royal Party. It's one thing you take your wife.
He's also the royal family.
Doesn't
No, I'm saying a four. His wife's. Yeah, he's also. He got permission. You have permission for one. That's permission for two. That's already too far, right? So. In Kayoma, let's see if this is what he says. Depending on how your father reacts to this statement, we'll be able to see whether he wants to kill me or just wants to keep an eye on me, which was the debate here.
Right.
between
Oh,
the
she's
two.
also doing it to show Yonasan.
Yeah, that's the whole,
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
point.
The whole point is to show Yonasan. I don't know. Maybe you're right. My assessment is he wants to kill me. Your assessment is he doesn't want to kill. Okay. Well, let's see how your father reacts to me being there.
Right.
In Kayoma, if thus is what he says, ko. Thus, Yoma, he will say, tough, good, shalom la'avdecha. There should be peace on your servant. It's fine, no problem. If your father is okay with this, and he says, okay, fine, no problem, right? Sorry, I read it wrong. Im koyoma tov, then that's a sign. Shalom la'avdecha. There is peace to your servant. Means your servant means to me. David is being Yonasan. Your servant is me. So that means peace. V'im charo yechere, if he will get in a temper, which for sure is what I think he will, right? I think that's just a double expression. That's what I think will happen.
If you will.
If he will charo, like charon af, v'charo af Hashem, God will get angry in the Shema. Charo yechere, if he will surely get angry. Lo means his anger is ignited. Da, then you will know. Ki chalsa ha'ra'ah me'imo. That the evil, ra'ah is the evil. Chalsa is like to finish. Means that there's no hope for me. His evil intention is final. That's what it means. There's no me'imo from him. That means his decision to do bad to me is a final, and there's no going back. We'll be able to tell. Look, if he just want to keep an eye on me, but I just ask permission to run away for a few days, and I'll come back, so he'll be okay with that. But if he said, okay, he's mad, where's I need to get, because he was hoping he would turn up at the Rosh Chodesh feast, right? And actually, it's an interesting point. I think that's what you were saying before. Since Shaul knows that David knows he wants to kill him, right?
Yeah.
So why does he think he's going to turn up to the Rosh Chodesh feast? Like, obviously he's not going to turn up.
He doesn't.
Who doesn't what? He doesn't know that David knows?
He doesn't think that he's going to show up. But
He's doing
this
But
is
we're
not.
saying-
This
no,
is
but-
not about David.
I know,
This is about-
but David says he's going to blow up if he's annoyed at me. Like, he's not expecting to meet me there.
Correct. But
He's going to blow up with you?
no, he's just. It's more so for Yonasan's reaction. He's angry regardless.
Why?
I mean, no, it's true that you say yes, but then why would Shaul get angry when
Or
Yonasan
maybe-
says this?
Or I mean, it would have been better for him to say like if he says,
sent messengers to Beis Lechem to go get him. Like, that would be more telling. I mean, either way, it's more telling, but...
It's just the mention of my name and that he's gone away. He's claiming he's gone away to Beis Lechem, and this is going to get Shaul angry. Here. Shaul may not have been expecting him to come to the party, but at least he was hoping he would still be in Nayot, so hadn't run away out of sight altogether.
Right.
Sure.
I also I find it hard to believe that he would even believe that he's actually going to Beis Lechem, considering that he knows, like he's. If I was Shaul, I wouldn't believe this. It's a feint.
Why?
No, you're saying that if Shaul, you hear the problem. Shaul knows that David knows.
Yeah.
Because he tried to spear him, and David ran away. So he only run away if you're scared of someone. He also knows that he fled out of his house running away. So they know, between them, they know the truth. The only one who's not clear about this is Jonathan, right? So Shaul knows that David's not going to turn up. And David knows that Shaul knows that David's not going to turn up. So why is he suddenly going to get angry when he doesn't turn up?
Maybe he'll be
And they say he also knows that he's not going to believe the story about going to Beis Lechem.
But he's probably only going to get angry at Jonathan.
Well, that's if Jonathan is...
Because if Jonathan shows up, oh, David told me he's going to go to David. I was right. You're on his side.
Why are you on his side? Look, he asked me an innocent question. Why does that prove it?
Yeah, but
he just asked me an innocent question.
Because he's the only one who comes with information on David. He's not expecting David to be here. He saw that David ran away. So whoever comes in to
If he's actually
for David is on his side.
Yeah, if he's actually
I
paired.
mean, where did you meet him? We thought he's run away. David's supposed to have run away. You met him somewhere. Where did you meet him? How did you know where to find him? He wasn't back home.
How do you know he's in Bethlehem?
There wasn't in Beis Lechem.
No,
But wherever you met him, how did you know how to find him? That the fact you haven't in contact with him at all.
Yeah.
And maybe that's exactly what David is going to actually.
Maybe.
David sending.
Yeah, but then Jonathan doesn't realise that.
Yeah.
But if I tell him, he's going to.
Jonathan doesn't believe.
He doesn't believe the whole story. I mean, David knows it. David knows exactly what's going to happen. Because David knows the truth, that between him and Shaul, they know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of
And when he
risky.
says that I met with Jonathan, I was actually hiding, then that means that Jonathan's on my side. Okay, let's see what happens. I hear. I went to, and that's David. To me, David knows what's going to happen, but Jonathan doesn't know.
Yeah.
Jonathan doesn't know the whole story. So as far as Jonathan's concerned, he could be. Honestly, he might miss you. Okay, so David said, you'll see how your father reacts.
Yeah.
Right? Which will actually be much worse than you're expecting. Because you're expecting to be upset because he can't keep an eye on you.
I'm expecting him to.
He's going to go crazy.
send
Just,
after.
He's going to throw a spear at you.
that's, how'd you know?
Oh, Jonathan.
That's what happened.
Jonathan.
What?
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah, slowly.
What?
The Osisa. Okay, so that was a long story before we get there, I'm afraid. Yeah. The Osisa chesed al avdecha.
Next month.
You shall do kindness with your servant. That means it could very well happen that your father's going to go crazy when you tell him that you met me, okay? And then we're never going to see each other again because I'm going to have to run away.
She's just giving him parting
So
advice.
they're now making parting, saying their farewells to each other, to promise to stay friends through thick and thin. Okay? Whatever happens. Vasisa chesed al avdecha. I know they're not there yet. We'll get there. Vasisa chesed al avdecha. You will do kindness with your servant. Means David is saying to Jonathan, do kindness with me. Ki b'bris Hashem heveisa es avdecha. Because in the covenant of God, you brought your servant. Means we've made a covenant between us to be friends, and we've made that covenant beforehand. And therefore, I'm asking to cash in on that. That you will be nice to me. In what way? Imach, with you. V'im yesh bi avain, if there is a sin. Means if your father says, what? David, you know what he did? And your father convinces you that I've done something wrong. Hami seini ata, you will kill me. If you really believe that I've done something that I deserve to die for, I want you to kill me. That's the kindness I ask of you.
Wow.
V'adavicha lama zeh tivieni. Why bring me to your father? V'adavicha, and till your father, lama, why zeh tivieni? Why should you bring me? I mean, I'd rather you kill me than bring me to court and then make a big thing about it. I'd rather get it over and done with. If you really want to be kind to me and really want to show you a friend, if you feel I've been married by Malchus, your father convinces you that I did something, I passed on information to the Iranians, right? If you manage, your father convinces you that I deserve to be put to death, then you come and, here, ready, chop my head off. Okay, that'll be the kindness. And then the new section. Vayomer Yonasan Chalilach, God forbid that you should have done ki im yodaya. Chalilach, God, that you've done something. I don't believe it's possible, even thought that you should have done something and get it wrong. Ki im, on the contrary, im yodaya eda, if I know, yodaya eda, if I will know, ki cholsa hara imavi, that the evil that my father wants to do is final. Again, cholsa is finished. Finished, not he's finished the evil, means the decision is finished. To do bad to you. Lavo alecha, to come upon you, means the evil that my father wants to do upon you has been finally, he's got a final decision. V'lo ota agid lach, and I will not tell you. Means the possibility that I'll come and kill you doesn't enter my head. God forbid the thought that you've done something you deserve to be killed for. On the contrary, if I find out my father's annoyed you did, I will personally come and tell you to run away. I will.
Is there anyone who does?
Now, I saw agid lach. No, if my father says, fine, no problem, I love David, bring him, I tell him to come tomorrow to the party, right? Which David knows is not going to happen. But Jonathan says, if he does, okay, then I can send a messenger. But if what? If my father's annoyed, I can't send a messenger because that will get back to my father. I'll have to come myself. I'll come myself and tell you you've got to run away. Okay. David el Jonathan, mi yagidli. Who will tell me? O mi ya'ancha avicha kasha, or who will answer?
Father harshly.
I don't mean like who will ya'ancha? Who will answer you? Doesn't say umi ya'an avicha kasha. No, if your father speaks difficult, avicha kasha means if your father speaks harshly against me, who will answer you, answer for you. Mi yagidli, o mi ya'ancha avicha karsha. Oh, sorry. O mi. If your father answers stronger. Sorry. Doesn't say me. O ma ya'ancha avicha karsha. Ma, and what? I don't know, I heard it pshat, but I suppose, it means even if your father doesn't want to kill me, but he wants to do something not as bad as kill me.
What will your answer, Father, more harshly? Is that what?
Yeah, but it doesn't say you will answer. Uma ya'ancha means you answer. Ya'ancha means answer you. I don't know.
You will answer.
But was me yagid? Who will tell me? Jonathan just said, I will tell you. I think what David says, you think you'll just be able to tell me? Right? How are you just going to come and tell me? You think you can just come and tell me? If your father blows up at you, right? That means your father suspects that you're on my side and you're passing on information. He's not just going to come and let you walk out of the palace and give me a message. Right? So how are you going to get this message to me? Me yagidli, who's going to tell me? Oh my ya'ancha, means if your father answers you in a strong voice, then you're not going to be able to come and tell me. If everything's fine, you can get a message out. But if not so, okay. So Jonathan has a plan. How is he going to get this message to David to run away if his father shout at the party? Vayomer Jonathan el David.
Why is David even waiting?
What?
Why is he waiting for Jonathan?
Because he wants to prove.
No, because Jonathan is not convinced that David's right.
Okay, but once
Well,
he goes to the palace, he'll know. He doesn't have to wait for Jonathan to come back and tell him.
But they have to say goodbye.
Say goodbye now.
Maybe they will. Vayomer Jonathan el David. L'cha v'nitzei hasadeh. Let's go out to the field, and then we'll draw up a plan of how you can get this information to me without risking your own life. If things are bad, if it's good, no problem. If it's bad, we have to work out. Vayetzu shneim hasadeh. So the two of them went out to the field. Okay. So now both Jonathan and David are in the field. Vayomer Jonathan el David. Jonathan said to David, Hashem Elokei Yisrael, the God, the Lord of Israel. That's the way of promising by God's life, or in the name of God. I swear by God. Ki echkor esavi. when I will echkor, chakira. Come on, you do a chakira in morning shia. You have an investigation. A chakira, does the Gemara mean like this, or is the reason like this? That's called a chakira. When the police do a chakira, it's called a chakira. Same word, means they do a police investigation. When I will investigate my father, ka'et macha, this time tomorrow, Hashlishis, meaning the third day. Meaning today is Erev Rosh Chodesh, tomorrow is Rosh Chodesh, and he may or may not notice or make a big deal out of it. If he doesn't say anything tomorrow, but the next day, the second day of Rosh Chodesh, then I'll bring up the matter. Again, the first day, I'll wait for my father to react. Then, if he doesn't say anything, then I'll ask him, then I will investigate. I will investigate my father on the third day. V'hine, if Tov El David, and everything's good, it means fine. He didn't bring it up, and he's forgiven you. It could be. There's also a possibility that after that whole prophetic thing, Shaul may have changed his whole thing. It's possible.
Yeah.
When Shaul comes to the prophet, he takes off his royal garb, and they were all friends there, were all prophets. Maybe that had an effect, could have had an effect on Shaul, and he could have become better.
Right.
It was possible. Okay, so if by the third day Shaul himself hasn't reacted by your not being there, so I bring up the matter and I will investigate, and he says everything's good, v'lo az eshlach elecha, and then will I not send to you? I don't need to come myself because then there's no danger. I can send someone. I don't have to come myself if my father's negative about you, because then I can't send a messenger because the messenger will know. I'll have to come myself, but the question, how will I get the message? How will I get there? Okay? But if everything's good, then I can send a message, V'galisi esaznecha, and I will reveal your ear. Means after you come to the palace, I'll tell you how everything went. Ko yaseh Hashem li'yonasan. So God should do to Yonasan, the Ko Yosif, and so he should add. Ki yetiv el avi esara lecha. This is the other side.
Is Yonasan speaking right now?
Yeah. He's cursing himself. That if it's good in my father to do evil to, means ki yetiv el avi. When my father decides, if it's good, my father considers it good. Esara lecha, to do bad to you. The galisi es aznacha, then I will reveal to you. Meaning, if God should do terrible things to me if I don't. So, if everything's good, I'll send the message. If everything's bad, then God curse me if I don't come personally and tell you. The galisi es azna v'shilachticha, and then I will send you away. And then you will go in peace.
What's az necha?
Your ear. Or your ears. Yeah. So God should do terrible things to me if my father considers it good to do bad to you, and I do not reveal to you, and then I will send you away. You will go in peace. V'hi Hashem imach, and God will be with you. Am I giving you a blessing? God should be, then you'll have to go away, and God should be with you and support you and help you and give you tremendous siyata d'ishmaya, as they say, kasher haya imavi, just like he was with my father. So this possibly is a hint to the fact that Yonasan understands that David is going to be king, just like his father was king. So just like my father was successful, he became king and fought many battles, God should be successful with you as well. This is a long talk.
Did David tell Yonasan? Or he just
He'd been anointed? I don't think so. But you don't have to be so clever to really. I mean, Yonasan may also have seen the armor shrink in the tent. No idea. Oh, he did. V'loi. Im odeni chai. And, well, im odeni chai means if I am still alive.
What?
Im, if. Od, more. Odeni is me. If chai, alive, whilst I am still alive. V'lo ta'aseh imadi chesed, and I will not do, and you will not do with me kindness. Hashem, v'lo amut. Now, what's he saying? What he's saying is, that I'm asking you that you promise that you will do kindness with me whilst I am still alive. Because you're going to go away. That means if my father chases you away, and I send you away, my father says he wants to do bad, and I tell you've got to go away, and you go away, and you become successful, then I'm asking you that you should do kindness with me, because you're going to become king, and the normal thing would be to get rid of the old king's family, which is me included. So he's asking him that he should, whilst I'm alive, continue to do kindness with me. Velo amut, and not when I die. Not I will not die, because he will die at some point. It means, and when I die, you will also. How do you translate this? V'lo tachrit et chastecha, and you will not cut off your kindness, me'im beiti, from with my household. It means, and when I die, you will also not.
You keep doing kindness to
You'll
my
stick,
family.
yeah, you'll stick curing back. Exactly how they fit into the words. God should do to me. V'lo. Right. Means he's saying God should help you. That's what he said, right? But not if you stop doing kindness. That's what it means. V'hi Hashem yimach Hashem. God should be with you. I'll give you a blessing. God should be. V'lo, but not. God shouldn't be with you. When I'm still alive, v'lo ta'aseh imadi chesed Hashem. And you won't do the godly kindness with me, then God shouldn't be with you. And not when I die. If when I die you don't continue to do this kindness, God should only be with you if whilst I'm alive you're kind with me, and if whilst after I die you continue to do kindness with my family. Ad olam ve'ever. V'lo, and not when. These all, if you don't do as follows, then God should be with you. V'lo, and not behachris Hashem et oivei David. When God cuts off the enemies of David. Who does that mean?
Shaul.
Including Shaul. Ish me'al pnei ha'adama, each man from the face of the earth. That even after, whilst I'm alive, and even after I die, and even after God destroys all your enemies, you will still continue to do with me and my family kindness, then I give you a blessing that God should be with you. Yehonasan in base David. So Yehonasan made a covenant with the family of David. Meaning, what does that mean? He really wants David to help him. But he's saying, if you help me and my family after I die, then me and my family will help your family, because we don't know who's going to come out on top over here, right? So we're making this agreement. You'll help me, I'll help you. Yehonasan in base David, who bikesh Hashem miyad oyevei David. Ubikesh means?
No, vayichros.
Vayichros. So that means to Vayichros Yehonasan in base David. So he cut what? What did he cut with the family of David? A covenant. The other word covenant's missed out. Ubikesh Hashem miyad oivei David. And he sought God from the hands of the enemies of David. What does that mean? Ubikesh Hashem, and he requested God, miyad, from the hands of the enemies of David.
Like by slaying them?
Who are the enemies of David? Shaul. And he requested of God from the hands of the enemies of David. He asked him Hashem to do what? I don't know, he may have asked him, but it's all hinted to, because he doesn't make that clear that he wants David's enemies to be destroyed.
Well,
right?
That would be
cursing himself.
treason.
Yeah. Well, either way, he feels this is the right thing to do, because he feels his father's wrong and David's right. But it could be Bikesh Hashem, and he asked God, miyad oivei David, to save him from the enemies of David, to save David from the enemies of David. Vayosef Yonasan. And Yonasan continued, Lahashbia es David. So they're sworn to each other to help each other through the generations. But Ahavasa Isai, because he loved him so much, they had such a great relationship. Ki Abbas Nafsha Hevai, he loved him like his own life. Who loved who?
Jonathan loved David.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay, you want to carry on?
Yeah.
Okay, now the next piece is a piece that we always read in Shul when Rosh Chodesh is on Sunday. That means wherever Rosh Chodesh is on Sunday, so the Haftarah of that Shabbos beforehand is this next piece, right? Which is Hayom Eloyo Nosan Machar Kodesh V'Niv Kadeska Ki Yipakei Moishavecha. I know it because my brother's bar mitzvah was on the day before Rosh Chodesh. V'Shilashta Terei Noid V'Asar HaMakom Asher Nishtalta Sham B'Yom Maseh V'Yoshavta Eitzel. Okay, so Yonasan says they're going over the story. Okay, so Yonasan's out in the field and he's told David that I promise that if my father's good, I'm going to get a message to you, and if it's bad, I'm going to come and tell you. And then you're going to have to run away, and God should be with me, and God should be with you, and you should help me and help you and help your family, help my family, and if not, whatever. Okay. Now, but how am I going to get the message to you if things are bad?
Himself.
I can't send it. I'm going to come myself. If I send myself, we're going to. It's going to get known. The Father's not just going to let me go out and pass a message on to you, because he was annoyed, and I only need to come to tell you if he's annoyed. If he's annoyed, there's going to be guards, right, to make sure I don't pass on any messages to you. So what we're going to do? Okay. Yonasan said, Machar Chodesh. Tomorrow is Rosh Chodesh. The Nifkadata, and you will be noticed. Missing. Ki yipaked Moishavecha, when your seat is noticed missing. When your seat is empty, you will be noticed that you're not there. Okay. V'shilashta, and for 3 days, that's today, tomorrow, and the next day. Te'reid, not 3 whole days. Te'reid ma'od. Te'reid ma'od means to lie low, very low. Laredet means to go down. You lie low, you hide in the grass, somewhere shouldn't get seen. Uvasa, where should you go? Where should you hide? Elamakom, in the place. Asher histarta sham, where you hid. When was the last time David hid?
His wife's house.
In the field where they.
In the last chapter, where Yonasan told him he wants it, and he started to speak up. So and David was trying to listen to their conversation. I wanted to hide there, same place. Then histarta sham, and hide there. You go to the place where you hid on the day of that story. I'm not sure why he calls it that. But Yashavta, where in that field should you be hiding? Eitzel ha'even ha'ozel, next to the Ozel stone. Now this is actually the name of a street not so far from Shmuel HaNavi called Rechav Even HaOzel. It's named after a book written by a rabbi who wrote a commentary on the Rambam called Even HaOzel. What it means, it would seem it's a stone which is a direction stone. It means the stone says this way north, that way south, that way to Damascus, that way to Jerusalem, whatever. Okay? Signpost. But in those days they used stones, right? They used stones for mileage things the Romans had. They had a stone. You hide near that stone and then I'll know, I'll find you there. Va'ani, and I, shloishes hachitzim, 3 chitzim. Chitzim is this plural of chetz. What's a chetz? A what?
Half.
That's chetzi. Chetz. Chetz is, and what do you say?
I said half.
No.
Hours?
Chetzi, no. Chetzi, no, that's chetzi shah. Chetz is an arrow. An arrow. The plural of chetz is chitzim. So shloishes is 3. It really means a group of 3. Shalosh is 3. A group of 3. Sida. No. Sida is from the word sad. Sad means?
Side.
Not tzaddik. Side. Right? It's very similar in Hebrew and English. Right? Sad. Side. Same word. Sida. So I'm going to show 3 arrows to the side. Oreh. Oreh.
Oh, to like mark a spot.
What does oreh mean? A light? That's or. Oreh. No, the aleph here is not a root letter. The aleph is I will. like Eshmor.
Mm.
So the root is not the Aleph. You've heard of the word Torah? You've heard of Torah, right? What does Torah mean? What are you?
Instructions.
Right, you're a moreh, right? So oreh means I will.
Light up.
No, a moreh is not because the teacher lights. The moreh is because the teacher gives instructions,
Yeah.
right? So yoreh means to.
I will instruct.
Right, but it really means, it does, it really means to shoot an arrow. Now, what's the connection between shoot an arrow and give instructions?
Well, you
Wow.
give the
Give
instruction
keyboard.
to the arrow.
You shoot instructions. That means a moreh doesn't teach. A teacher is a rebbe or a melamed.
Keyboard.
A moreh is a person who shoots instructions. You give
Female
instructions, like a driving instructor. He doesn't teach you how to drive. He just tells you the rules. It doesn't show you how a car works. Just says, these are the rules, this is what you have to do. You do this and you'll go. You do this and you'll stop.
It's a female teacher.
Is that what water?
Morah.
Is that why teachers in Hebrew are called moreh?
Yeah, moreh and morah. It's because it's an instructor.
Oh.
They give instructions, right? The rain. We say it every day in the Shema. Yoreh umalkosh, right? If you v'haya im shema tishma in the shemesh mitzvah samayim le'avin v'avodim b'chol ma'atim tzatim tatzchem b'ito yoreh umalkosh. I will give you rain in its time. Yoreh umalkosh. The yoreh is the early rain. Why? Because the rain shoots like arrows. Depends how forceful it comes. Whether it shoots down, does it come with wind? Does it come from the side? The two different types of rain in Israel agriculture. There's the early rain, which comes in Cheshvan, and the late rain, which comes in Teves. The early rain is called the Yoreh. So Yoreh, it means to teach, to instruct, to shoot an arrow. All the same thing. And the early rain is called the Yoreh. So Oreh, I will shoot. I will shoot this group of 3 arrows towards the side. Leshalach li, to send them for me, le matara, to the target. Never get that word. Matara, it's actually used in modern Hebrew. Okay? Matara shalcha. What's your point? What's your goal? Right? What are you trying to achieve? So the target is, so I'm going to shoot. I'm doing target practice. You understand? I'm going to come to the field and I'm going to do target practice. So I'm going to make myself a target on the side, it says. Okay, and I'll make like the trees my target and shoot my arrows, 3 arrows.
Why?
Yes, look. Leader. Behold, Eshlach es hana'ar. I will send the lad. I won't be on my own, because Shaul would never let me go on my own, because he has to keep an eye on me. He doesn't have to send a whole army of troops.
Yeah.
He just knows that someone will tell on me if I try giving you a message.
Yeah.
Okay, so being with the lad is enough, because he'll tell Shaul what's going on. I will send the lad.
To go get the arrows.
Leich, go, mitzah es achitzim, go and find the arrows. He's the ball boy. He's going to bring the arrows back for the next shot. Okay? So, the message to you, David, depends on what I tell the guy to do. If I will tell the lad, Hine, behold, hachitzim, the arrows, mimcha v'heina, are from you to here, meaning they're closer. The lad is going to run off to look for the arrows and say, they're not that far, they're closer than you are. Okay. V'hine, then behold, kachenu, you can take them, means you can come out of your hiding place and pick up the arrows, uvaya, and come, ki shalom lacha. That's an indication that everything's fine. Ve'ein davar, there's no matter. There's no problem. Chai Hashem, as God lives. Means, the hint is, if the language I use to the lad looking for the arrows, is, if the language I use, the guy's going to look after the arrows. If I tell him that the arrows are between where you are and here, that's in this direction, so that's my hint to you, that you should come in this direction, meaning come home.
How do we know the lad won't stumble across David?
Because he's hiding. He's in a good hiding place. But he can hear, he's hiding behind the stone or whatever,
So-
right? In the long grass.
Jonathan is aware of where he's hiding, so he's not going to let
Right,
him
yeah, for sure, right. Yeah. And he's obviously going to shoot them in a way that I suppose the lad actually starts running. See, if the lad waits till they land, then he'll know where they are, and you can't tell him they're closer because the lad knows where they are, right?
Yeah.
If the lad's starting to run, So he'll make sure to shoot them beyond the lad. Then the lad knows that they're closer than, or sorry, on the contrary, he'll shoot them between him and the lad and say, "No, they're not there, they're here." Then David will hear that message and know they can come out of the hiding place because he's telling to come this way.
Yeah.
And if this is what I say to the lad, now you notice the word lad has changed. It was a now it's an elem. We had that once before, and then we had a medrash that explained the difference. Remember when they wanted to know who this David was when he was going out to fight Goliath, and we said the word elem, also meaning a lad, also means hidden. And they had some type of information about David that was hidden. They didn't know whether he was from Peretz or Zerach. They didn't know if he actually married Jewish because his great grandmother was a convert, and that was the whole story there. But I don't think there's any chazal on the difference here. Right? I know there's a malbim on it, but
Where's the album too?
I don't know. It's a bit. The Malbim says the word elem indicates a young man with lots of vigor, very vigorous and exciting.
Why not before?
Maybe it means like before as well. Could be, but the Malbim says that's so he means like this. It means. Well, let's see what he says. If I will say to him, Omar la elem, hine behold, hachitzim, the arrows, mimcha v'hala, are from you onwards. Means that the arrows are further away in the other direction. They're beyond where you are. Obviously, I'm going to have to shoot them over his head in order to do that, right? Then lech, you should go. Kishilachacha Hashem, God has sent you. See, that language will be the indication you have to stay hidden, and God wants you to run away, and He wants you to go in that direction, away from us. So the way I give you that hint is, I can't come out and tell you, right? But I can hint to you that you should stay there and wait till we've gone home, and then you can go in the opposite direction. By telling you that the arrows are further away from where. If I say the arrows are closer, that means you can come closer. If the arrows are further away, it means you should go further away.
Yeah.
Now, the Malbim also says that there's a second. That means the major difference between the two things is whether the arrows are closer or the arrows are further. Okay? But the other difference is whether I refer to him as a na'ar or I refer to him as an elem. Meaning, if it's an elem, you're going to go use all your strength and run away quickly. So it's not just the word na'ar, but it's also the word elem. My problem, why I don't like it, is he doesn't say, if I say and use the word elem, does it? The word elem isn't the quote, it isn't part of what I'm going to say. If I say to the elem, what am I going to say to him? According to the Malbim, you have to say the word elem will also appear in the statement. They'll say, elem! Right? But it doesn't say that. The elem has to be part of the sentence for David to notice the difference. It looks like it's not part of the sentence. Here, doesn't say Nar lech metzasach. Nar is not part of the speech. Nar is just who he's speaking to. So it's like it's not so neat. So that's why I prefer not to leave it, because in the end it doesn't work out as well. That's all part of the Malbim's I think in the end he mixes the two signs up. He says one but not the other. So and he got an explanation. The Malbim's got great chat, but just to me it's a little bit fanciful. Sometimes the Malbim has such good nuances in the text, and they're so brilliant that sometimes to me, what?
You weren't so impressed?
No, it's like, no, I don't have anything better. For sure, I don't have anything better to say. But it's just like,
Is it really there?
yeah, there's something there. But okay, carry on. You want to stay? Okay. Lahadava asher dibarnu, and the matter that we spoke means we promised to be friends till we die, till we part. Even after death, we'll be still friends with each other. That matter that we spoke, ani va'ata, you and I, hine Hashem beini ubeincha, God is between you and me. That means God knows who's going to be faithful to this agreement. Nobody else will be able to, as witnesses this agreement. No one else. But God is between us. It means God's the glue between us. And I suppose it also means God knows when one side's not keeping his side of the deal. God, Hashem b'nei along forever. Okay, so that's what he did. Yisrael said David, and David hid himself basada in the field. And it was a chodesh. which it is now, 10-6. Vayeshev HaMelech El HaLechem, and the king sat down to the feast, Le'echol, to eat. I presume the feast was the next day. I'm not sure if it was in the morning, it was in the evening. I don't know. Maybe soon was a strange. I don't know. Vayeshev HaMelech Al Moishavoi, the king sat on his place where he usually sat, I suppose, on his throne. Kapa'am bepam, like every occasion. Pa'am means an occasion. Like every occasion, he always sat in his particular seat. El Moshav Hakir, the seat by the wall. That was where his seat was, I suppose on the back wall, so no one could go past him. He had to sit on either side. He was at the top of the table with a wall behind him. That was where the king's throne was. At the feast, Yokam Yehonasan. Yonasan got up. What that means, he was sitting.
Yeah.
Doesn't say where he was sitting, but it looks like by Yeshev Avner, and Avner sat down. So I would guess it means that Yonasan was sitting in Avner's place. When Avner walked in, Yonasan got up and let Avner sit there. Mitzad Shaul, Avner sat next to. Otherwise, what's Yonasan got to do with the story? Right? So the thing is, I think there's a very interesting chazal. It says like this. Beautiful to tell you. Listening?
Mm-hmm.
When a rabbi walks in the street and he's accompanied by somebody, you're supposed to stand on his left.
Yeah, let it
He should be on the right. What happens when he's accompanied by two people? Obviously, one's on the right, one's on the left.
More chashuv.
More chashuv goes on the right.
Oh.
Is that not why?
Because he's more chashuv, right? So he's going to be on the right. Somebody's got to be on the Talmud Chacham's right.
What if he's a lefty?
Oh, it makes a difference. You're talking about, I don't know, it's a good question. Sometimes it makes a difference. Yeah? So now, okay? So if you're walking with a Talmud Chacham in the street, so which side will you be? On his left. What happens when another Talmud Chacham appears, but you're a bigger Talmud Chacham than him? You'll have to move to the other side. So he'll be on the left and you'll be on the right.
It's a little egotistical.
What?
It's a little egotistical.
Yeah. No, you know. You know, everyone knows where they're holding.
Everyone knows their place.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. The country. Yeah. Honest people know where they are. I know. I'm bigger Talmud Chacham. What can I do? I got 95 in the test. You got 82. You know, so I'm bigger than you are. Right? Whatever. Okay. So that may be the suggestion over here, that when only Yonasan was in the room, right? So Yonasan sat on his father's left. He was the crown prince. His father was the king. So where do you sit on the left? When Avner came, so now Yonasan had to move to the other side, because he's now, of the two, he's more choshev than Avner. Avner is the head of the army, but he's the crown prince. So Yonasan had to move to the other side and got up for Avner to sit there.
Yeah, but he should have known that he was coming.
Well, okay, maybe it's true. Even if you know someone's coming, until he comes, you sit on the left. Otherwise, you can't sit on the right of the king when there's nobody else there. Well, you're more important than the king. What are you doing on the right of the king?
Right.
No, I only sit on the right of the king when there's something else to the left. Till then, I have to sit on the left. So that's why Yonas, when Avner came in, he got up and let Avner sit on the left. Okay, whatever. Yokam Yonasan, Yeshev Avner, and Avner sat down, Mitzad Shaul, next to Shaul, Vayipaked Makam David, and David's place was noticeably empty. You could see David's empty place next to, well, on the left or right of the camera, exactly, right? David's place was missing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, until the other guest arrived, you couldn't see who was missing because, you know, people come late, right? Or, you know, look at the watch. David, hey, why is he David missing? Shaul didn't say anything. Now this is against your theory. Your theory is that Shaul knows David's not going to come, right? Shaul knows not going to come. I'm going to kill him if he comes. And David knows that. He's not going to be stupid, right? But look what happens, and that's not what it says. So we're going to have to rethink our suggestion. Shaul didn't say anything on that day. Why? Ki Amar. This is what he said. This is what he thought. Mikrehu. It just happened. Bilti tahar. Not being tahar. Maybe David's not tahar. So you have to assume that although they weren't kayanim, and they weren't eating truma, but they ate their non-truma food as if they... There's a concept of only eating food when you're... not only eating food when you're tahar. I told him to speak to as well, right? But you would eat your food as if you were a kayan eating truma, and relate to it with all those rules.
Then why didn't he tell Yonasan to say that instead of that I'm going to Beis Lechem?
Because he wants to see if Shaul's going to react. Understand?
Either way.
Right.
Anyway, but that you see, that's only good for one day.
Okay.
Right? Why would you be Torah for more than one day? Now, why would you become Torah? Why? No, did somebody die in the family? Was there did you go to a funeral? I didn't hear any funerals in Yerushalayim, or whatever it was. Right?
So every single person that dies.
Well, you talk about Shaul and his son-in-law. I know when my son-in-law goes to Levaya, right? I know. He's the king. No, he expects mikra. What does mikra hint to? A seminal discharge. It's called keri, right? Mikra means it just happens. There's no cause, it's just something that happens. The Pasuk even goes, Ki yeh le'ish mikra laila, when a guy will have a night happening. Yeah, but the word mikra doesn't mean initiation, it means it happens. It happens. It doesn't, no one has to blame, it happens. We, all human beings.
It's probably a euphemism in this case. A happening.
Yeah, but the word means it happened because it really means something that happens.
Yeah.
But now, how long will you be Tomei for?
Until you go to mikvah.
Which is the same day.
Yeah.
You go the same day, then you Tomei till the evening.
That's only if it's only one time.
Yeah, but why should it happen a second time? It happens. No, it only happens the second
Maybe
time if you're ill, if you're a zav, right?
Zav.
Yeah, but that's some type of disease. A zav is a type of seminal discharge which is strange, right? But this is just a normal discharge. If it's strange, it means you need to go to a doctor, you need to go to a kohen, you need to go to a car, but there's also things you need to do. But that can happen. But isn't it? But Shaul doesn't say, no, it's just a fascinating insight in psychology, the way Shaul views David. Shaul sees David's not there. Why is he not there? Wonder why he's not there. Probably had a seminal discharge. So he's
Yeah,
Wait. Could be. Could be. Why? Why not?
His wife.
Well, no, that could also be. Meaning if he's married.
Is
But
his
if you're
wife-
married, one second, if you're married, then it will also be called a seminal discharge. Seminal discharge doesn't have to be happens without marriage. It can happen through marital relations as well. But she's there.
Yes.
But she's
Yeah,
there.
Michal's there.
Okay, so it was a seminal discharge without his wife. It can happen, right?
Why didn't he ask Michal about it?
She's not going to know.
Ah, the boy.
First of all, he knows that. Well, I mean, he knows that he hasn't come home. He knows that David hasn't come back home, so that can't explain, right? Anyway, she won't know if he has a discharge in his bed with his wife. Not a fucking idea. How's she supposed to know?
Maybe he knows that Yonasan is.
Well, yes, not the story yet. Yes, not in the story.
I know. I'm saying Shaul knows that he's in cahoots with Yonasan, so he wants to. He doesn't want to play his hand. He doesn't want to show his hand.
No, but it's not what it says. It says the reason why he didn't suspect it on the first day is David might not have turned up because he's Tommy.
It says that. That's what he
Says.
said. He said that.
I mean, he said that to everybody else. I didn't say it. That's what it means. It means he thought. He said, "Oh, I bet David's not turned up because he's had a seminal discharge." I don't think Shaul's so crude, vulgar to say that. No, he just didn't say anything. He didn't say anything, Steve. Oh my God, what do you mean? He thinks.
Is that-
What is he thinking to himself?
If he said that, is that Lashon Hara?
Well, wait till the end of the pasuk first. Why does he think that that's a likelihood for David? Why doesn't he say, "Oh, maybe David's run away"? No, in his mind, this is more likely. Why? Because oh man, he said, or he thought, Mikrehu, it's just happened. Bilti tahor, that he's not tahor. Kilo tahor, because he's not tahor. Well, what does that mean? Obviously, he's not tahor because he's not tahor. If he was tahor, it wouldn't be time, right? So I think what he's trying to say is because David's not a tahor person. That means a person is likely to have a seminal discharge if he's been thinking about it, shouldn't have been thinking about it. It can happen to the best of people, right? But certainly a person who's been reading and watching and doing things he shouldn't be doing will happen. And since he has this negative view of David, says, David's probably just right for him. He's probably reading something pornographic before he went to bed, and that's why this happened there. Because that would be lost if you would say that, right? So that Shaul really thinks that of David. Instead of Shaul, David's got the pink. It's not the right color, right? He's got these dark green glasses that he wears. Anything that he thinks about David. He thinks of David who wants to kill him, he thinks of David who wants to take the throne, he thinks of David is Tomei, and he thinks about women the whole time, right? That's why. But he honestly thinks that because that's what he doesn't say in the first day. Maybe he's Tomei, well, he's that sort of person, so he's probably Tomei. Like he's not Tomei, he's had a relationship with Michal, because then Michal wouldn't be there either. Or maybe she wasn't there. Maybe there was going for men, I've no idea. It doesn't say there were women at the party, no idea. So I don't know. Okay, that's reason. Oh, what about the next day? The next day, there's no excuse. You can't have the same thing twice. So, it doesn't happen twice, one night after the next. No. So therefore, he'd go to the mikveh, and then he'd be tired by the next day. There's no reason why he shouldn't turn up the second day. Vayihi mimacharas, it wasn't the next day. HaChodesh. Hasheni. So either means the second of the month, or it means the second day of Rosh Chodesh. Right? I don't know why they would have a party on the second day of the month. They could have a party on the second day of Rosh Chodesh, right? Because it's 2 days of Rosh Chodesh. Okay? So if they had 2 days, meaning on the day after, that is the second day of Rosh Chodesh. Makom David, and David's place is missing. And now there's a Samach, meaning pause. Right? Shaul thinks,
Short pause.
Right, Shaul's saying, what's going on? Can't be these Tommy again. Now that's like very unlikely. That's too much of a chance. David's Tommy again. Okay, so he finds out. Shaul and Yonasan, Benai, Madua Loipa ben Yishai. Now, why you turn to Yonasan? You should have said, I don't know. How am I supposed to know? You know, what's he going to do with me? I don't know him from Adam. He's my brother-in-law, but I have no special relationship with him. No, he doesn't need that because Shaul knows who to ask and he knows how he's going to answer. You know, some people can't hold him alive, you know, especially as the truth is, Yonasan wants him to react and wants him to say because he wants to see how he's going to react when he says it, right?
It's even
Shaul doesn't
weirder
know all
for
of
him
that.
to say this. Like it's even a worse excuse for Yonasan to say it on the second day. 'Cause if it was true, he would have said it on the first day.
Well, if you don't ask, I don't have to say. I mean, I say, what are you trying to hide? Okay, all right. Only you notice also he still keeps his hay here. He doesn't lose his hay. And I think the reason is because now Shaul knows that he has this special relationship with David, which is where he got his hay from. In that time when he told Yonasan he wants to kill him, he didn't know that, but now he knows. So Yonasan ben Yishai. Now that's a derogatory term. He's got a name, doesn't he? He could have by his first surname.
What?
Yeah?
What?
Why didn't Coleman come today? Yeah? Why? If I like you, I call you Dylan, right? If I'm trying to say something derogatory about you, if I don't like you, I just Coleman, right? So he's calling his son-in-law David, he's calling him Ben Yishai. Ben Yishai is like saying his surname instead of his first name. It's showing a sign of lack of fondness, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ben Yishai, why didn't Yishai's son come today? Gam Tamoil, also yesterday. Gam Hayoim, also today. El Halachem, to the meal. To the bread, but it means to the meal. Vayan Yonasan and Shaul. And Yonasan answered, Nish al David. David requested, maybe continuously requested, May imadi from me ad Beis Lechem. To Beis Lechem means he asked me permission to go to Beis Lechem. Exactly as he was told to say. And he said, Shalcheni na, please send me away. Means give me permission to go. Because we have a family sacrifice. But here, in our town. V'hu tziva li achi. And this my brother commanded me.
Commanded or asked?
My brother commanded, no, my big brother. David said, my big brother commanded me. Siva li achi, my brother, my big brother commanded me to come home. I've got no excuses. My brother insists that I come.
He has a pretty good excuse.
Ve'ata, and now, im matzasi chen be'einecha. If I have found favor, I mean, Yonasan is repeating what David is supposed to have said to him. And you'll notice that he's much long-winded than he was actually told. He wasn't told anything about his brother commanding him. David didn't say that. He didn't say anything about finding favor in his eyes.
He's nervous.
Right? He's nervous, probably. Right? When you've got to say a lie, right? And you're nervous about being caught, you say all sorts of right.
Rainbow.
Now, this in my opinion is the giveaway. Imoltana. Now, if you look in the art scroll, it says, please let me flee. V'ere es achai, and I will see my brothers. Al kain loiba el hashulchan HaMelech. That's why he hasn't come to the table of the king.
So he said flee, not run.
Right. David didn't tell him to say the word imalta. David said the word larutz. Right? Like rotz katzvi. Right? Tzvi rotz kadarkai. Right? It's to run. David said, I want to run. This is what I think is called a Freudian slip.
Yeah.
Means when you say what you mean, but not what you plan to say.
Yeah.
Right? David really didn't want to run anyway, he wanted to escape. And he used that word, and I think the Shaul picked up on that.
Yeah.
And Shaul goes crazy. Yichar af Shaul b'Yonasan. And Shaul blew up at Yonasan, not at David. Now this wasn't expected. David said, if he says fine, fine. And if he gets annoyed, then you'll know that he's annoyed with me. He does get annoyed with Yonasan. By Yomelon he says, Ben Navas Hamardus. You are the son of rebelliousness. Now I don't know what Navas means. Mardus is rebelliousness.
Nava, pleasantness.
Yeah.
Nava.
That's nun vav hey. is Naveh or Naveh. Na'ava, I don't know what that means. But I think it's actually a pseudonym for his mother. And what he's saying is you get that rebellious streak from your mother.
No, wait.
Isn't that what husbands always do? Always blame their children's bad side on their wives.
Wait, no.
Ah, it's your mother's to blame for that, or your mother, or her mother is to blame for that. Right?
No.
Right? So let me tell you this fascinating medrash. Mardus is from the mered. Mered is rebellion, right? So Na'avas is a woman's name. You are the son of a rebellious woman.
Right.
Now, why does he call his wife rebellious? What was rebellious about his wife? So listen to this story. This is a great story for the last day of this man. The story goes back to the time of Shoftim. At the end of Shoftim, there was a horrific story in Pilegesh Begiva, where there was a gang who raped a concubine and murdered her through their gang rape. Left her for dead in Binyam, in a town called Geva. Okay? When the courts wanted to judge the people for doing it, the Benjaminites wouldn't hand them over to the courts, and they insisted on judging it themselves. And then there was a civil war as a result of this
And,
That's why there are only
Debate.
600 left.
and Hashem punished both sides.
Correct. Both sides were punished, and both sides had lots of casualties. But the tribe of Benjamin were almost wiped out.
There was like
Almost.
600 men
Correct.
left.
Only 600 Benjamites left. And then they managed to find. Well, now they'd also made a promise that they wouldn't marry any of the girls. The Jews had made a promise that they wouldn't marry any of their daughters to the Benjaminites, and now they regretted that because now the Benjaminites were almost wiped out.
There was only
So-
600 men left. no
Right,
daughters.
and no daughters. So the first thing they did is they went and got 400 women from a town called Yavesh Gilad. We mentioned this before.
Yeah.
Yavesh Gilad was a town that hadn't joined in this battle, and
And they had
therefore
not made the promise.
hadn't made a promise, but they also hadn't joined in the battle. So the
So
Jews
this-
felt they had the right to go and do war against them, and they killed all the men, but all the young single girls were kept alive. And there was only 400 of them. So there was still 200 men without wives.
So they went to a town in the north.
No? That's where Yavesh Gilad is.
No, then they went to another town. I think it was in the north.
No. Then they
They
went
just
to
went in the fields.
They went to a place in the fields. The women, the men decided like this: that although we promised they wouldn't give our daughters, we didn't say we wouldn't let them take our daughters. No, we didn't say. We just said we wouldn't agree to them taking them. We didn't say we wouldn't stop them. So the girls were going out for a festival, dancing in the fields near Shiloh, right? And the men, the Benjaminites, were told to go and take women they fancied, and then they would convince them to marry them, and then they would live happily ever after.
Was Shaul alive at the time of this?
Let me carry on.
Oh, okay.
So, according to Chazal, one of these 200 men who were looking for wives was Shaul.
Huh?
It wasn't so long before this story, so it's not unreasonable that he should have been a young man at the time. And he joined his 199 friends who were seeking out wives at this girls' dancing party in the vineyards. And then each one said, "Oh, I like her." Right? Sounds a bit like the Vikings, right? But I don't know that they actually forced these women into marriage, because I know halachically there's no such concept. You can't force a woman to marry you, because if you do, she's not married to you. She can get up and leave if she wants, right? But they probably did pick them up, take them home, and then say, "Would you like to marry me?" She said, "Why should I marry you? What do you have to offer me?" He said, "Well, you know, there's only 400 Benjaminites left, and we've got enormous tracts of land, and we're very, very wealthy, and I can make you a princess, and we'll build a palace together." So that appeals to me. Okay, whatever. I don't know. We don't know the details of why they agreed or exactly how halachically acceptable it was, but no, that's what they did. Apparently, Shaul, right, was very shy, wasn't he? He was the guy who was so shy that when he was offered to be king, he went to hide with the suitcases, and they had to look for him to make him king. So he didn't like this idea of chasing after women. He thought it was completely not sanua, and it was not in his character at all. So he ran away. All his friends ran towards where the girls were dancing, and he ran in the other direction. And then one woman saw him and says, "That's my guy." Right? I want a guy who doesn't want to chase the girls. On the contrary, you want a guy who chases the girls.
That runs away from them.
He runs away from the girls. That's my guy. Guy shy. Like, he's a big tzaddik. So she ran after him. Right? And that was where Shaul said, that was Jonathan's mother. Understand? And that's where Shaul says, your rebellious streak comes from that. That's a rebellious. A guy who's chasing after the boys, that's a rebellious girl. Instead of being quiet, waiting for the boys to come to her, that's rebellious. So your bad character trait of rebelliousness is a feature that you got from your mother. Ben Navas Amaudos, Hello Yodati, I know. Or I always knew. Yodati, I knew. Ki bocher atam, that you choose. Leben Yishai, the son of Yishai. Lebashtecha, to the embarrassment. Ulebaishes ervas imecha, and to the embarrassment of the nakedness of your mother. What?
What?
Oh.
Oh.
You're embarrassing yourself and you're embarrassing your mother's nakedness by choosing David. Now, I think the idea behind this is the only reason why you would choose David over yourself to be the next king is you know that you're illegitimate. The legitimate heir to the throne, right? The legitimate, if you're the legitimate heir to the throne, why would you support David and give up your right to the throne? Only because you think that you're illegitimate.
It could also mean that.
Just a minute. That means, if your mother committed adultery, now I don't know whether she did, I don't think she did, Shaul, right? But if you think she did, then you're not actually the legitimate heir to the throne, because you're not my son, you're the milkman's son, right?
Who thinks that she did?
No, she didn't.
Oh.
But no, God forbid, I'm sure she didn't. Shaul is not accusing his wife of that. But your support for David gives support to such a suggestion. Why would you support David if you felt that you were legitimate? You're worried that one day, they're going to do an DNA file and show that you're not actually my son. That's what you're worried about. And that's why you're supporting David, because he's more legitimate heir to the throne, because he's at least married to the princess, and you're just the milkman's son. You understand? Or the postman, whatever you want it to be, right? And that's what he's saying. Your support for David is to your embarrassment and to the embarrassment of the nakedness of your mother. You see, that's associated with your mother's love affair. Which Shaul's not accusing her of that. She's rebellious, right? She's a big tzedekis, but your support for David is giving support to such a claim.
It could also mean.
Okay. You like my chat? I think my chat's brilliant. Go on.
The embarrassment of your mother's naked body. That could also mean like when we consummated, like it was a waste for you to be a product of it.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty brilliant.
Okay, it's good. Kichol hayomim, for all the days, Asher ben Yishai chai al ha'adama, the son of Yishai is alive on this earth. I mean, so long as David is alive, lo tikon ata u'malchusecha, neither you nor your kingdom will be established. Because even if you become king, there'll always be a threat. David will always be a threat to your kingdom. Tikon means to be established. Like a machon. A machon is like a machon Weitzman. What's it called? The institute. The Weitzman Institute. Machon.
Oh, Tichon Umaniot.
No.
Tichon Umaniot. Abet HaSefer Shel.
Yeah. Now that I think that I'm not sure if that means an institute or it's from the word tichon meaning middle school.
Oh, yeah, that's what that
Means middle school.
Yeah.
Right. That's from the word toch.
Like junior.
Toch. Inside. It's the middle between the two. Toch. No, this is from the word konen, which means to be established. So your kingdom will never be established as long as Ben Yishai is alive, and therefore.
Koneneu, Maisa Yedeu,
Yeah.
Koneneu, right?
Yes, but that's with the kuf.
Oh, that's different.
That's from the word to make a nest.
To establish the work of our hands.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but I think it's.
Maisa Yedenu, Koneneu.
Yeah. So the Sfarim say that one alone. Yeshiv b'sei sevelio in the end. Yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe you're
And
right.
they say it twice, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, because to exit Shabbos, right?
It's after the Shemona Esra.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's from the word to be
Oh,
established.
that's
Could
fine.
be. Okay.
Yeah, that's-
Okay.
This is good for
But
pronouncing.
Atar, so now he's giving him instruction. Give up this nonsense of supporting David, right? And it's clear from your statement that you're trying to cover up for him. There's no question. This is not true. This has just been a plan. But the proof is you're nervous. Whole long story, and the fact that you said David should escape, which is a clear giveaway you're helping David escape, and then you're clear on his side, and you just V'ata. So now Shalach, send a messenger, but Kachosai, and bring him Eli to me. I want you to go and send someone to bring him to me. Ki ben mabesu, because he is a man of death, means he deserves to be put to death. And I want you to go send for him. And Yonasan answered his father Shaul. And he said, Lama yumas. Why should he die? Me asa. What's he done? Now that's the line we've had before. What do you want from him?